Hello everybody, I had a couple questions about what my setup is and my computer specs and so forth. So I figured I'd do a very quick video and show you where I fly and record from. So I live in a small place, so I've made the most of the space that I have. I use all Logitech panels and pedals and quadrants. So I started off with just the yoke pedals and a quadrant, just a single. And then the first panel I upgraded to was this one here, which I believe they call the multi-panel, which is your trim wheel and autopilot settings and flaps, which comes in very, very handy. That's the one you kind of use the most. Keyboard is mounted on top, which is just kind of Velcroed there. And then this is, I believe, what they call the switch panel, which does your sort of electronics, magnetos, lights, things like that. And then the radio stack here, which is nice when using VATSIM or even just doing navigation in ATC, because each one of these knobs can change it over to the different sort of like selector, so you have your COM1, COM2, or NAV1, NAV2, ADF, DME, and your transponder. And then I have dual throttle quadrants now for flying twins, such as this wonderful C414 from Fly Somewhere. The monitor itself is a ultra wide 3440 by 1440p. So not quite as high as 4K, but because it's ultra wide, it does come close to the same amount of pixels. But it is nice having an ultra wide. I also use TrackIR, which you can see on the very top there. And then I have down here, I keep my, it's a little too dark, my headset and the actual IR tracker. And then if I want to use speakers, I have a hat down there with their normal sort of clip-on piece there. As far as the PC goes, I recently, I guess you could say, downsized the case just to make it a little neater on the desk instead of a full tower. It is an ITX tower. Inside there is a AMD 6800 XT graphics card with a AMD 5800 X3D processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 1 terabyte NVMe hard drive, all in a little Fractal Nano case, which is nice because it keeps, like I said, the size down on the desk. The nice thing that I have with this setup, though, is that all of this can come off under a minute, and then I can just put it into a closet out of the way, so that way it's not always this setup. I used to work from home, so it was always nice to pop that off when needed. The main way I did that is, you can kind of see it there. There's a actual wire harness. Let me grab it here. So there's all the wires that run through from all the panels. I just clicked my throttle a little bit there with my arm. But then all of those come down underneath and plug into a, cable management isn't the best at the moment, but they plug into this USB 3.2 hub that has its own power, so I don't have to worry about plugging all of those components and peripherals into my actual system itself. So those just get unplugged. There's one clamp holding all of these panels on, because that panel is connected to that panel to that one to that one, those two to the yoke, and the yoke just comes off, and all of that comes with it. Then you just pop those off the desk, put away the pedals, and you're good. So nice and easy to pop that out, because like I said, I live in a small place, so this is technically my living room. So I do have, as well, next to my TV, a little gaming PC I built for when I just want to sit on the couch and game, and totally capable of running Flight Simulator in that little guy as well. And if you're wondering why my channel is called Sprocket Simulations, it is because of this guy. This is Sprocket,
He's awkward on camera, but I promise his little tail was wiggling there. Yeah, it's a good boy.
The reason why he's named Sprocket is because one of my other passions is cycling. And so he is named after a bike part. But that's the setup. I'd love to hear about yours and what you use, if you use different peripherals, if you are just using an Xbox controller, which I failed to mention I always have handy as well right there. And then also the mouse is always underneath that little nook as well. I turn the red on for when I'm flying in Flight Simulator, but otherwise it's either off or white. I just like the red to match the paneling. But I'd love to hear about your systems. And then I'm gonna go through in another video and show you my settings and how I tune Flight Simulator. Until next time, this is Sprocket Simulation saying thanks for watching. Take care.